Mhm.
Welcome, Reverend Wheeler Parker. It is an absolute honor to be here with you today. We're going to talk for a bit about your cousin Emmett and his legacy and Miss Mamie Till Mobley. But can you introduce yourself and who you are?
Yes, my name is Wheeler Parker Jr., and I am Emmett's cousin. Emmett's grandmother and my grandmother are sisters. I came to Chicago, Illinois, January 1st, 1947, lived next door to Emmett, and five of us came, and my mother got pregnant, and she was pregnant with another girl. So Emmett's grandmother said, "You got to name her after me, name her Alma." So today she's Alma.
Mhm.
And of course, I'm going to skip to a few years later, 1955. My grandfather came from Money, Mississippi, where we had left him to bury one of his parishioners.
Mhm.
And it was custom in those days to send children south in droves. So I was the one selected to go back with him to Mississippi. And Emmett, living next door to Emmett, and Emmett didn't have any siblings, so when he went on trips or did things, his mother selected me to be he
Mm.
to go with him.
Mhm.
So we became kind of tight.
Mhm.
He found out Wheeler Jr., that's what they call me, Wheeler Jr., is going south with my grandfather moves right, and he's not going. And he didn't like that.
Mm.
So he pressured and pressured. They said, we can't let that boy go south
Mhm.
because of the mores of the South. He has no experience how to maneuver. And what they did when they sent you south, they sent you and put you in the hands of grandparents. And if you went into those dangerous, and it was dangerous, if you didn't live during that time and understand it, you have no idea what it was like to live in the South and get in trouble. So,
Mhm.
we can't let you go. Some way, somehow, being the Leo that he was, and
Mhm.
being in charge, he talked them into letting him go.
Mm.
So we got on that train and we went south and we got there that Sunday and with my uncles, three uncles, I went to see all three of my uncles are younger than me.
Mhm.
And one was my age and he was in the South you grow up mature real fast. He was 16
Mhm.
but he had the use of a car and this is just exciting to us city boys. So we got there Sunday, Monday morning, you in the cotton. It's cotton picking time. You in the cotton field. Everybody's in the cotton field picking. It lasted one day, and that's all he could handle. It was too hot, and so he stayed home with my grandmother.
Mhm.
Uh, then we there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday we went to the store. We there 3 days. We would go to the store. People gathered around, and we remind you we did not have an adult with us.
Mhm.
That's a no-no in the South when you come from the North, because the kids in the South know the mores of the South. They know how
Mm.
to behave and what to say and
Mhm.
how to say. We didn't have that. Very unusual.
Mhm.
My uncle. He's 16. I'm 16, but I'm older than he. And so we get there and they gathering around playing checkers. So I decided to go into the store and purchase some things.
Mhm.
I went into the store and I purchased some things. And while I was in the store, Emmett came in and my heart said, boom. I said, wow.
Mm.
I've been well indoctrinated in the
Mhm.
ways of the South because I left when I was almost 8 years old. So
Mm.
I hope he
Amen.
got himself together. And what
Mhm.
I meant by that is that his yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sirs, because that could be a real. They're going to check you, see if you know you, see if you. They're going to catechize you, see if you're right. And I said, man, I hope he got it together today. So he came into the store, and I was in there with him just for a short time. Nothing happened. And in the store in those days, you didn't shop and bring your stuff to the counter. Everything was on the wall behind the clerk.
Mhm.
Point out what you want, how much you want. They bring you want this, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and you pay for it. So I left them in there, and it's amazing how many things that has been said happen in that store by people who were not at the store. Even today, people have something to say.
Mhm.
Nothing happened when we was there.
Mhm.
My Uncle Simeon went out. My Uncle Simeon was 12, we're going to soon be 13. Emmett was 14. They sent him in there to be, they know that he needs somebody with him. So Simi went in. Simi said nothing happened while they were in there. And but stories have been told as to what happened
Mhm.
in the store. We came out of the store, sitting around talking, and pretty soon Miss Bryant comes out of the store. When she comes out of the store, Emmett loved jokes, he loved pranks, he loved to make people laugh. He whistles, and we just could not believe this boy whistle. I mean, it was like we could have died. We could have, if we could have disappeared,
Mhm.
disintegrated, we would have done that.
Mhm.
Nobody said, let's go. We just, and by now it's dusk, sundown, and so we all rushed for the car. About seven or eight of us, we more in the car than should be. And someone dropped a cigarette. My Uncle Maurice would take off. And we just afraid now because he see that we are very much along. Have you lost your man? 1955, you have whistled at a white woman. They kill people for reckless eyeball, sweetheart, just for looking at a white woman. And you whistle? And we just couldn't believe it. So we just made a beeline for the car, jumped in the car. Maurice wouldn't go until they found the cigarette. We're going down this railroad road, it's dust dark, and there's a car behind us. He said, man, they're after us. They're after us. They're after us. My Uncle Maurice sped up, pulled to the side. We took out, jumped out of the car, go to the cotton field, and the car goes right by. No one was really after us.
Mhm.
Now the drama starts. More drama. So there's a girl there named Ruth. She said, look, this is not over. You guys are going to hear some more about this. I
Mhm.
know those people. They got a reputation. This is not over. Emmett asked us not to tell my grandfather.
Mhm.
So we agreed not to. This is Wednesday. Thursday passed by, nothing. And when you're 12, 14, and 16, you're not expecting anything. No, that episode passed. Friday, nothing. Saturday in the South is nothing like a Saturday night in the South. People come from all of the hamlets and cities, and country towns to the big city, which was Greenwood. And we were there, and people everywhere, up and down Johnson Street. Now they have a statue of him right there on the street.
Yeah. Saw that.
And we up and down Johnson Street, meet some cousins. Oh, we just, everybody's happy. So about 12 o'clock, the police come and say, hey, boy, this was the word they be, hey, you going to be late for Sunday school, ain't you, boy? I mean, you get to hopping, no words. So
Mhm.
on the way home, we stopped at a place called Four Fifths
Mhm.
Plantation. They got the juke joints out there.
Mhm.
White lightning, they drinking this white lightning and playing the music and stuff. So we stopped there for a while, and we had a little swallow. I must admit, we had a little white lightning. Got to swallow two of it. So and that stuff make it look like holes in the ground. You don't want to mess with that white lightning. So we left there, and on the way home, my Uncle Maurice driving. Greasy got kind of full, so he had a dog in the highway. Down
Mhm.
south, sometimes the dogs would lie in the highway.
Oh.
And Emmett is crying. The dog is yelling for Emmett. Oh man, you hit the dog, you hit the dog. So we got home about 12 a little after.
Mhm.
And my grandfather lived in a former landowner's house.
Mhm.
4 bedrooms, and the first time I ever seen bedrooms back to back, no always. Go
Mhm. And this
one,
was Sunday night. This
yeah,
was,
yeah, you go through one to the other.
yeah.
Whatever privacy you got.
None.
Full screen in porch, off this full screen in porch. There was a bedroom on each, two bedrooms on each side, back to back.
Uh-huh.
Grandpa was in the right side, facing the house. He's in the left side. I'm in the right side with my Uncle Maurice, Mom and Papa. They in the left side. So about 2:30 in the morning, I hear people talking. They said, you got two boys here from Chicago. I said, my heart said, boom. I said, God, I'm getting ready to die. These
Mm.
people are going to kill us. I know what he did. He violated one of the southern mores, and we wished him die. Being raised in a strict religious church, and I pastored the church started in Emmett Till's grandmother's house. Not only was I getting ready to die, but when death is imminent, you say, I'm going to die and go to hell too.
Mm.
And that hit me like a ton of brick. I said, God, I can't die. I said, you got to let me live. I said, if you let me live, I'm going to make restitution with you. When death is imminent, all you can think about is God. And So I said, just let me live. I'm going to do right. I'm going to get myself together. I hadn't done that much at 16, but enough to go to hell up there. Very sensitive and conscious about that. So
Yeah.
um, my grandfather didn't know what room he was in.
Hmm.
They were saying we look for a fat boy, a fat boy. He was
And it
heavy,
was the two
right,
men.
yeah, but two.
Hmm.
So, and I'm shaking, literally shaking like a leaf on a tree. You could hear him coming my way, dark as 1,000 midnights. You couldn't see your hand before your face. In the South, when the moon didn't shine, you could not see your hand before your face. A friend of mine, his mother said, boy, be home before the sun go down. We know why now. He said one night the sun went down, he had to crawl home, feeling the path all the way. That's how dark it was. It's hard to believe that could happen, but in order to see, you got to have some light shining on something to reflect to your eyes, like a camera. It works like a camera.
Yeah.
Can't take a picture of the camera unless you get some light flashing back into the film. So I'm shaking. They come in my way and they enter my room. They got in with a pistol in one hand, and I was afraid of guns.
Mm.
Pistol in one hand and a flashlight in the other. Coming my way, I closed my eyes to be shot, shaking, trembling, and I opened my eyes because I'm not shot. And they're walking by me. Went to the next room. Emmett wasn't there. My uncle was me in bed, did not wake up. Next room, my cousin Curtis is here now.
Mhm.
He wasn't in that room. They went to the next room where Emmett, Simeon, and my uncle Maurice just died in September. He and Emmett were the same age.
Mhm.
He didn't wake up either, though. They had to wake all of them up.
Mhm.
Arose Simeon, he went up, told him to get up, and he told him to put his shoes on. Knowing him, he wanted to put his socks on. And he has no idea who he's dealing with, where he's at. And his language wasn't, I couldn't tell exactly what was going on, but it was pure hell over there. I mean, they was hot as a firecracker. And I think he wanted to put his socks on and
Mm.
my grandmother ran out the house next door, the white man living next door to get some help. He wouldn't help.
Yeah.
My grandfather trying to tell him that the boys, his mind is not good, don't take him. My grandmother offered them money.
Yeah.
They reluctantly refused that. And
Do
it,
you feel like he was trying to put his socks and shoes on because he just had no idea what?
they had no idea what he's doing, and so who he's dealing with.
Yeah.
So they left with him, and that's the last time we saw him alive.
Mm.
So
So
that's
sorry.
thing happened at the house. And my grandfather said he went to the door, and someone asked, "Was he the one?" And he said it was a high voice. And when you read the court, I don't know if we read the court documents or not, but the
Please, yeah, if you'd
transcript
like
it
to.
says he. So we believe that it was Miss Bryant, and we have no reason to believe anything else. But there's so many fallacies and
Mhm.
mis saying about what happened there, but the truth only God knows.
Yeah.
And so they left with him. That's the last time we saw him. Of course, right away they started looking for him
Mm.
by the rivers.
So sorry. First of all, thank you for sharing that
Mhm.
with us. I know that you want people to know what happened, and you have spent a lifetime making sure that people understand what happened. What is it important for you that people know about Emmett, about your Uncle Mose, about Miss Mamie Till Mobley? What do you want people to know about them?
The truth,
Hmm.
and that carries a lot, and that's what was not told
Hmm.
because people told a story that was not there. And when I was interviewed uh, in 1985, 30, that's what they said, 30 years later,
Hmm.
they say, alleged. That still hurts. I'm 16 years old. Parker alleged that this happened. At the
Hmm.
same time, you read a Look magazine where people wrote and said it happened. You believe that they weren't there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was not interviewed until what 30 years later.
Hmm.
Some won't say I was interviewed, but where's the interview? But
Hmm.
what difference does it make? They took
Hmm.
the boy and they did what they did, uh, and it was terrible. And we want people to know the truth. That's all. One thing we were raised not to have hate. And
Hmm.
everywhere I go, I start off with, you're not here to talk about stir up animosity, ill will, or hate. Because
Yeah.
hate destroys the hater. We're not telling the story. It's an ugly story. It's an unpleasant story, but it needs to be told. Because if we don't tell it, you're going to have to repeat it. And the Jews are told not to tell the Holocaust. They said, we got to tell it. They said, you shouldn't tell it. And even some people say the Holocaust never happened.
Hmm.
The demands of people is just so ridiculous. But anyway, we have no animosity, ill will, or hate.
Yeah.
We hate that happened, but we're taught to love everybody. We were taught not to hate, not white people.
Hmm.
If you hate anybody, it's going to be somebody in your own house.
Hmm.
Your foes, the Bible says, your foes going to be them of your own house. But you can't afford the luxury of hate because hate is not good. So I was at my alma mater, my school. I said, don't hate. The little
Yeah.
girl said, appreciate. So I have people saying that sometimes. Don't hate,
Don't
appreciate.
hate, appreciate. I
Yeah,
love that. That, I
yeah.
mean, it's a beautiful message because so many people would have been given into hate for that. I mean, you were a baby. You were 16 years old. I have a 16-year-old daughter. That's a baby. How did you move forward? Were you able to talk about it? Did you not talk about it? Did it take, I mean, I know this is still a process. You're still moving forward,
Hmm.
but what has it been like for you?
It's I came back to where I live right now, and I live right near the school,
Hmm.
same little town, in Summit, Illinois. And I went to the school. They didn't have counselors for you, and they weren't interested. I don't think they were interested. So I
Hmm.
remember my English teacher. He's the only one who said something to me. He said, "Do you hate white people?" That's all he asked me
Hmm.
because of that incident. And we didn't talk about it because America, the attitude of America was he got what he deserved.
Hmm.
He was managed 14, just made 14, whistling at a white woman. He should have known better. So we couldn't talk about it to them. And the black people attitude was, my grandfather would not let it happen. We're ashamed. Y'all didn't do nothing.
Hmm.
You should have done something. So I guess I had survivor's guilt.
Hmm.
So for until 1985, we didn't talk about it. It was nothing to talk. Like now, it's demand to talk about it. That was not the case then. You may say something to somebody about it, but it was not anything that the schools wanted to hear about.
Yeah.
No one wants you to come talk about it because it's still unpleasant. It's an ugly story. And some are saying don't talk about those things because you make white kids feel uncomfortable and guilty.
Hmm.
So that we need to eliminate that from the books, so kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So after 1985, Rich Samuels in Chicago, Illinois, Channel 5, NBC,
Mm.
he came out and did a documentary, and things started changing. Now people invite me in, but I notice for people that invite me in, they're progressive people.
Hmm.
Schools are progressive schools and colleges, and I go all over talking about it.
Hmm.
But I always start off because it's an ugly story.
Yeah.
We're not here to stir up animosity, ill will, or hate. We just want to tell the story. Can we talk about history? And I make them feel comfortable and say yes. And I went to Delta State for years, and they bring 50 teachers in June
Mm.
and 50 in July, and we tell a story.
Hmm.
They go back to their schools from all over America, and they invite me in. The ones that were progressive.
Yeah.
Um, that's how we. That's how I got to travel and still traveling all over telling the story
Wow.
without animosity, ill will, or hate. You have to have love for everybody.
Do you feel like it's been healing for you to be able to talk about it over the years?
Yeah, it's healing and it's closure. To help brings closure. It's healing, and I never knew how much it meant to people to hear from an eyewitness. I
Mm.
just took it for granted, and
Hmm.
I understand and appreciate it more.
Mhm.
I went to the funeral, and I I think they said God's way to protect me. I said, this is not Emmett. I had no sorrow, no
Mm.
sadness. I say, and we do believe that we can see each other again in
Yeah.
Christianity. So I said, this is not Emmett. We see him again. So I cried. I didn't cry and do anything like that. I was just kind of numb. I said it's not him, but at the same time, I knew that it was him.
Mhm.
So that's where I handle that.
Wow. Um, Thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that. And I think you're right. There are so many people who either don't know the story or have misinformation about the story. And hearing from you, who was Emmett's cousin, his best friend, and who was a witness, means everything and what people can learn from this. I know you've done a lot of work with the Emmett Till Interpretive Center and other organizations over the years. In addition to touring the country and telling people about this and teaching teachers. Can you talk a little bit to us about the work that you've been doing in the Mississippi Delta over the years to keep his legacy alive?
Yes, I have. They've done great work in Mississippi Delta there at the Interpretive Center. They invited us up there and they gave an apology. So
Mm.
that meant a lot. And I, I went to West Virginia. They said, we want you to come to West Virginia. So I said, wow. Well, so you know black folks in West Virginia. That's what I said. I think we have about 2%. So I go with her to Marion, West Virginia. And that nice guy over there. I can't think of his name right now. He's gonna
Mhm.
get me for that. But anyway, this guy was very progressive.
Mhm.
He played the blues, white guy, teacher, and he played the blues, and the guy that played for Chuck Berry, I don't know if you know him, played that
Oh,
piano.
yeah, absolutely.
He named a bridge after him
Mhm.
because he's from West Virginia.
Wow.
So he's into it big. And he had me singing once. He was playing, I was singing. So, but I don't have it. But
Okay.
anyway, so I said, man, and they did we found the script before 50 years later,
Mhm.
and they did a play. It was awesome, girl. I'm there crying. I never heard it before. I'm there in the auditorium crying, and I said, we got to bring this to Mississippi, show this. I didn't know the attitude of the South about that. So we had them to come. They did
Mhm.
excellent. They came on a school bus, basically all white kids, and they did it. I think about 4 people came out.
Mm.
They're not going to attend it. They said, we're doing better. Why bring this up? Because in Mississippi, most white kids still go to private school. They come a long way.
Wow.
But we got a lot of work still to do, and we
Segregated.
thank God for the progress that we made.
Hmm.
So that was really flattering. So I learned something still about the South. We don't tell our stories. You go south, people, even black folk. You know why? Because all the stories are ugly.
Yeah.
See, I get upset. Somebody said the other day, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
When I was talking with my cousin, she said, I don't hear no more of it. I don't hear no
Mm.
more. Because they should go to a black man's house, tell him to go for a walk. I don't need to say anymore. The stuff that we've been through, but it's history.
You did.
Talk about history. You're subject to repeat it. It seems like there
Yep.
are some people now trying to take us back. And
Yeah.
sometimes
Yep.
all depends on how I feel. And I've
Mm.
never started to stir up animosity. And I say, look at us as people. Look at our colors. We came to this country one color, black. What
Yeah.
happened? Who was raping who? So there's a documentary out, and there's a white lady saying, I think those black women enjoyed that
Oh,
relationship they
God.
had. It's a documentary, you know. See,
Wow.
what
Wow.
are the kind of stuff we've been through? We come a
Yeah.
long ways. Made a lot of progress. We got a lot of work still to do.
Yeah.
Thank God for people who are willing to change.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
last question I'd like to ask you. A lot of people who are educators actually are going to be watching this
Mhm.
program and this interview. And even for those who are not teachers in a traditional way, why is it important that we talk about this? Because
It's
you said,
important.
Mhm.
It's important that we talk about it. One thing, lest we forget.
Yeah.
That's what God told the Jews in the Bible. Don't forget.
Hmm.
And that's why they're so sentimental or sensitive to people's plight because they remember how they were treated down in Egypt. Not down in Egypt, down in Africa. That's where they were. We
Mhm.
like to separate Egypt and Africa, but
Africa.
Egypt is Africa.
True. Hmm.
I don't know why. But anyway, we won't spend no time on that. And God said, lest you forget, don't forget. So we
Hmm.
can't afford the luxury of forgetting. If you forget where you came from,
Yeah.
you forget too much. So we need to look at how we got to where we are, remember where we came from without hate animals. I say that all the time because people are so full of hate nowadays, and hate destroys the hater. So, and Mamie Till, if you listen to her reconciliation speech,
Hmm.
you were saying, she said, it's like those people don't exist now.
Hmm.
We have a calling in our life. She took a lemon and made lemonade. She
Yes.
forgot about what they'd done. She said she took children, started
Hmm.
developing their oratorical skills, and traveled all over. I got a job to do. Have a life because
Hmm.
negativeness is going to come up through your life. But if you got a life, and a little Arab girl asked me, how can I live near Arab community here, probably about 15,000 of them. She said, how can, because they suffer the same thing to some degree because they are Arab. So I said, well, you got to have a life.
Yeah.
That's a bump in the road when people don't like you for this or that or hate you. You got a life and you're busy doing that and you will forget about the things that
Hmm.
you suffer. You forget about that you're black.
Hmm. Wow. And what Mamie did, she it inspired untold numbers of individuals who got involved in the modern civil rights movement. I mean, when you say she turned this into something that really transformed lives, and you're doing the same thing by talking about this for a new generation. You are using Emmett's story and Mamie Till Mobley's story and transforming lives and inspiring people to create change. And so it's an honor of a lifetime to be able to speak with you, Reverend Parker. And I want to thank you so much for sharing this incredible story and for making sure that people know it and that their legacies stay alive forever. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, giving me the opportunity. May God bless you. And may the wind be to your back.
God bless you as well, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Have a great day.
Good night.
Tell Patrick I say hello.
I will. I will certainly tell Patrick.
Mhm.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.